Woo! We're going. Man, oh man. Let me shut this door. The Tennessee Volunteers have extended their losing streak. Everybody clap it up. Let's erase this while I'm talking. 9 in a row. 9 in a row. And this is, for those of you that may be watching this video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you should. This is not a good winning streak, folks. Not a good one. It is a losing streak. 9 in a row. Can somebody correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong on this? Game just got done wrapping up. I rewinded it 3 to 4 times. I can't confirm it. It sounded like it, but at the end of the game, they were interviewing Kirby Smart, and he said, I think, this is what he said, Tennessee deserved to win this game. Somebody please clarify if you heard him say that as well. I think that's what he said. But the microphone wasn't all, I don't know, it just didn't sound crisp and clear. So I don't want to get up here and say he said that 100%. I'm like 98% sure. If he did, which I think he did, that is a crazy statement to say, and I hope it goes to show not how lucky Georgia was. It's more so of, well, I don't know how to put this nicely without disrespecting Georgia. Well, it's not disrespect. Tennessee, they should have won this game. I was about to say Tennessee. Tennessee should have won the game. This is one of the games, I tell y'all, and I feel bad, I actually do. Y'all know I love All Nation. I love my Tennessee fans. I love my Georgia fans. I feel for you. Hey, Bama fan, I remember what happened up there in 2022. I felt like we should have won that one. We missed a field goal. Remember? 49-49. The best field goal kicker in Alabama history, Will Reichard, who is lighting it up in the NFL, missed what I labeled as a chip shot for Reichard. It was like a 48-yarder, 50-yarder. We were playing for the field goal. We had Bob, a.k.a. Bill O'Brien. Don't get me started on him. Jahmyr Gibbs, Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner. We played for the field goal. We miss it. Hendon Hooker throws one bomb up. So not only, dude. So at least y'all got to overtime, Tennessee fans. Alabama missed the field goal at like 13 seconds. In Tennessee, in 2 plays, now they're in field goal range. We even blocked the kick. It was tipped. Still goes in. More of the story is, I don't just have like sympathy for Tennessee fans. I have empathy. I've been through it before. I relate. So my heart goes out to you. I know how tough losses can be and whatnot. Let me move this out the way. It's devastating. It is devastating. This is one of those losses where if you were looking forward to the A&M Notre Dame game, LSU, Florida, Vanderbilt, Pavia, and South Kakalaki, you don't even want to watch football the rest of the night. I've been there. When I say I've been there, I was there a couple weeks ago with the cinnamon rolls. But here's the difference, and we'll talk about the game itself. It leads me into that. Why these hurt so much is because you should have won. Give you a good example. It didn't really hurt me too bad when, y'all know Alabama's my team. We lost to Florida State because we didn't deserve to win that game. We played awful. Florida State beat our eyes in. So I can't really be upset. There's nothing to keep myself up at, night about because I don't have to second guess plays or overthink them. We should have lost. This one's different. You should have won. And you're going to be thinking about all the plays. I guess we'll talk about it since we talked about field goals. I think it was trending on Twitter. Should you have played for the field goal? Yes and no, if you got to ask me. You want to line it up. You also don't want to throw an interception. You don't want to do nothing crazy because it doesn't matter if you get a field goal at the end of the game when it's, 38-38? Yeah. It doesn't matter if you get a touchdown. A score wins it. I think regardless, you're going to have to kick a field goal. It's more so, and that's why I say yes and no. I think you should have tried to get a little bit closer. Much easier said than done against a Georgia defense, and I know they gave up 38 points, but still. Much easier said than done late in the fourth quarter. Because you could tell the play calling right, it was getting conservative once they got around that 20, 25-yard line. And I knew it. You could see it coming 1,000 miles away. When they're on that 20, they got the false start penalty. Backed them up to 25. I was like, yep, that's going to cost them. And I don't know. That guy, what's his name? Max Gilbert, the most hated man in Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, let's do this in live time. Let me make sure that's his name. Yeah. I don't think those 5 yards affected him, not even to the slightest, because he missed it by 40. Golly, if you play golf, you know what that was. That was the old push fade. Whew. It didn't slice, it just the push fade. It started right, and it kept going right. Not what you like to see. Let me double check. The most hated man yep, Max Gilbert. Here's what's sad about it, too. He hit the identical, I think it was a little different yardage, but it was like almost the identical kick in overtime. You got to feel for him a little bit. It's like, man, that was all for nothing, brother. We needed you to hit the one in the fourth quarter. And there's also, I guess, I don't know, I still feel like there's pressure in overtime, but man, Tennessee had this one won. They were better on offense, if you got to ask me. I thought they were better on defense. They had Georgia beat. Georgia doesn't get that 4th and 6 at the end of the game, it's over. And then even at that point, it's like, all right, let's stop the 2-point conversion because they was down by 8. It was 38-30. So even if you give up the touchdown, you're like, all right, cool, we stop 2-point conversion, get 1 first down, game over. 2-point conversion, Georgia gets that. Tennessee's driving the ball down the field, they miss field goal. Let's start off with the first quarter first. Just like that, bam! Tennessee comes out the gates hot. 21-7. I'm sitting here going, I was actually in the office finishing up the videos y'all seen earlier today. By the way, come on back to the channel later tonight. You know we're going to talk about the Florida Gators. Sorry, and Sucky Billy Napier. LSU, Vanderbilt, and Kakalaki and A&M Notre Dame. I digress. We'll get to that later. I was in the office, and I'm like, man, Aguilar's playing pretty good. And then this stat, they show the stats during the game. It popped up. 14 for 1,499 passing yards. I said, what? It was the first quarter. There was like a minute to go. Aguilar was on pace for 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. Or it might have been more than that. It might have been 10 touchdowns. You get the point. He was having a career night. In the first quarter, at least, he cooled off. He was 14 for 14 then. He had 3 incompletions in a row, 14 for 17. But still, even when he was cooled off, he was lighting them up. The offense was playing good. He throws why he's so good in that Josh Heupel offense. He's so similar to Hendon Hooker. The higher you throw the ball, I know it's going to sound like common sense, but you don't see a lot of quarterbacks doing it, so I guess it's not. The higher up you throw it, him and Hooker throw that high ball, the easier it is for a receiver to run under it. You can judge it better, whereas if it's a line drive, not so much. And it's easier to overthrow receivers or underthrow them if you're throwing a straighter ball. But you lob it up, a receiver can make all the adjustments in the world. If it's long, he can speed up. If it's short, he can slow down a little bit. He throws that nice high 50-50 ball. Well, actually, we call them, and it's the term in college football, the 50-50 ball. It's really not. If you got a good wide receiver out there, and Tennessee's got a good wide receiver core, it's more so like a 70-30 ball, because in college football, you don't have elite DBs everywhere. You don't have Jalen Ramsey's roaming the field, Minka Fitzpatrick's. They're not going to be able to turn their head around. When do you ever really see DBs turn their head around? Maybe once a game. That's about it. I call them 70-30 balls. Chris Braswell, he was going up, and he was getting that thing. And it's not even like Aguilar throws a pretty ball. He just gives his receivers a chance. And that's all Heupel's going to ask out of his quarterback. I think he's just as good, if not better than Nico. We're not going to get into all that. He played good. I feel bad that he lost. I feel bad for Tennessee. They should have won. I'm going to continue to say it. They should have won. The offense did their part. They did their thing. You put up almost 40. You should win every single game. You should. You got to ask me if you want to point the finger at any, not position group, but just unit. I'd say the defense. I thought Tennessee should have iced the game. When they forced the fumble, they hit Gunnar Stockton, recovered it, but give it up to the Georgia defense. We'll do a nice little, not even a golf clap, a big clap to them. Held them to 3. They kept it to a 1-possession ball game. I always feel like, even if you're a top team like Georgia, if you can keep it within 1 possession in a hostile road environment, you got a chance. You got hope. That's what they did. The rest is history. Overall, one of the best college football games. I really hate to say that. I hate to be that guy. Because I always say this, and everyone says it after we just witnessed it. It's called like recency bias, because it's the most recent thing that happened. But seriously, this is one of the best college football games I've ever watched. It doesn't get any better than this. Back and forth, back and forth. Right when you thought Tennessee may be able to run away with it. Score a touchdown. Advance the lead. Nope. Georgia's like, all right, I got an answer for you. They kept answering. The resiliency. If I was a Georgia fan, even if I lost this game, I was prepared to get up here and say, hey, I don't view Georgia any less. If anything, I view them as a top 10 team, a playoff team, because they went to a road environment. Hostile road environment at that, one of the most hostile environments out there. Show resiliency. They bounced back. Gunnar Stockton. I'd say he's better than what a lot of people have been giving him credit for. Maybe even myself. The Georgia defense, not as good as we're used to seeing, but I think you got to give some credit to Bobby Heupel and, what's his name? Aguilar. Tennessee's hard to stop when they're at home. They're a really good team. Let's pull up these stats and numbers. I'm curious. You're curious. I'll write these down, and I will see you boys and females, shout out to our female viewers, in just a second. All right, there we go. I also apologize for these markers looking dim. I've already told you guys in our videos. Went and bought these markers to start the season. I bought like an 8-pack of them, and every single one is just, I guess you wouldn't call them dull. They're dry. I don't know. There's no ink in them. I got scammed. Whatever. We'll get some new ones soon. That's besides the point. Stockton on the night or day, 23rd afternoon. Either way, Matt, just shut up, you nerd. Just get to it. Sorry. 23 for 31. Pretty good on the road. 304 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. 0 INTs. Took good care of the ball. Side note: 1 rushing touchdown. Aguilar. This is where the box score is deceiving for all you box score nerds. 24 for 36. Check. 371 yards. Really good. 4 touchdowns. Also rushing touchdowns, so 5 total, but 2 INTs. If you're a box score watcher, you didn't watch the game, you're going to say, well, dang, he got outplayed by Stockton. No, he didn't. But those interceptions, not as bad as they seem on paper. One of them was he had his guy wide open, he was cutting, he slipped, and it hit, was it KJ Bolden right in the chest? That would have been an easy first down. His receiver slipped. That wasn't on him. I know he gets it, but you get my point. Receiver slipped. It is what it is. It happens. The other one was right before the first half. It was one of those plays. It was 3rd and long, or I think it was 3rd down. There was like 20 seconds to go. I already know Bobby Hype was like, look, just chunk one up. If we catch it, great. If they intercept it, that's fine. It's like a punt. It was basically a punt. I don't really view that as like some bad interception or whatnot. I thought Stockton also probably played better than what most people thought he was going to play. I thought he'd be good. But he was just so calm, cool, and collected. And every single time Georgia needed to answer, not only did they answer, but Stockton answered. Sorry, getting a call. I forgot to mute my phone or silence my notifications. Just clap it up. Much love and respect to Stockton. Great showing on the road. That is a hard place to win, man. Hard place to win. Aguilar, I'm clapping up to him. I'm clapping up to the Tennessee team. This was a great game. I don't care who you are. You're a fan of Georgia. Obviously, your head's going to be held high. You won the game. But if you're a Tennessee fan, you should not be feeling ashamed. If anything, you should be feeling really good about this team. Really good. I'd be feeling great. As where it stands right now, I think these are both playoff teams. I'm probably going to move Tennessee up in my rankings. I'm not one of these nerds that just looks at a team losing and go, oh, I guess I got to drop them. What kind of flawed logic is that? If I think Georgia's a top 3 team in Tennessee, let's say I got them at like 11 or 12, I think I got them at somewhere around that in my rankings. Why would I drop them if they lose on a last second touchdown in overtime or the last play? You get the point. I'm going to drop them. That's impressive to me. You just went neck and neck with the 3rd best team in the country if that's where you get Georgia in your rankings. So I am going to, that's all hypothetical. Everybody's got different rankings. I feel like I'm missing something. I probably am. That's also the beauty of these raw, immediate reaction videos because it's just stuff that's coming to my head. Of course, I'll sit down tonight, think of everything, watch some film, and we'll talk about it in the Week 3 recap. Man, the season's flying by. Can you believe it? We're already on the Week 3 recap. Almost a quarter of the way through the regular season. I really do feel like I'm missing something though. Guess we'll end it off here. I'll see you guys later. But